find and hold that the first elections under the Constitution can only be lawfully held as follows. 1. In the year 2012, within 60 days from the date on which the national coalition is dissolved by written agreement between the President and Prime Minister in accordance with Section 6B of the National Accord and Constitution Act 2008, or within 60 days from the date of the term of the National Assembly, which is the 15th of January 2013.
Those are the words that ended the long wait for the determination of the elections date by Judges Isaac Lenaola, Mumbi Ngugi and David Majanja of the Constitutional Division of the High Court.
The matters came up for hearing on 15 December 2011, two additional directions.
The ruling on a consolidated constitutional petition was filed by Kilome MP John Harun Mwau, lawyer Milton Mugambi Imanyara, Professor Lawrence Gumbe and Martin Mudhomi Gitonga.
We are conscious that our findings may be unpopular with a section of Kenyans who have preconceived notions about the elections. But we hasten to remind Kenyans that our undertaking is not to write the Constitution to suit popular opinion. Our duty is to interpret the Constitution in a manner that remains faithful to its letter and spirit and give its effect to its objectives.
In determining the petition, the bench, which observed that the next elections, the first under the new constitution, and since the worst post-election violence were an important milestone as they provide a chance for renewal and change for Kenyans, emphasized that the key out of the gridlock resulting from the overlapping issues as highlighted by the perceived conflict in the law lay in the transitional provisions set out in the 6th schedule and the fact that the presidential powers to prorogue parliament no longer existed, leaving the IEBC with the sole responsibility to determine the actual voting day.
The IEBC is an independent body, and in line with this mandate, it shall fix a date once it satisfies the conditions and arrangements that ensure a fair and fair election will be met, but within 60 days of either of the two events referred to in paragraph 164 and that.
The landmark ruling, which can be appealed against in a higher court, has been hailed by CIC Chairman Charles Nyachai, who, despite agitating for the August date, said the ruling merits no appeal since it was consistent with the Constitution, sentiments backed by Tourism Minister Najib Balala.
This is the body that is mandated by the Constitution to determine that issue, and it has so determined. The second thing, of course, is that in practical terms, it brings to an end, or ought to bring to an end, that particular aspect of the public debate, public discourse on what the date of the election is, so that we can proceed with those bodies that are charged with the responsibility of preparing for that election will proceed with that, and the rest of us will proceed with the process of overseeing the overall implementation of the Constitution.
This is good news. Although I was ready for August 2012. Yeah, because that is what we put originally in the Constitution. But because it's the first elections, we can go to the maximum of the term.
Experts say the ghost of a 2012 ballot may not be gone yet, as there could still be options to invoke for proponents of a 2012 general election. Milton Yakundi for the news at 9.